that like Cockney styled like English. So you should watch Get Duped on Prime.
Nice.
And that's my only rec. I'll pass it to Diego.
So I have two, and they're fairly new. One, of course, it was revealed a couple of minutes ago. The David Arquette. You cannot kill David Arquette.
Yeah.
Which is super awesome. If you guys don't know, David Arquette, maybe like 2 years or a year ago, was trying to get back into pro wrestling, and if you guys have never seen it, he did a death match in LA, which he almost died of, which is super crazy, and they touch on in the documentary. But if I suggest you guys go check it out. It is on VOD right now and drive-ins all over the place. Nice. So yeah,
how much is the VOD to rent?
I think it's $5.99.
Yeah, right now it's like $5.99.
Great.
So it's super cheap, but go support. Yeah. I know.
Yes.
I know. I told everybody I got a free copy, but I rather I got a free copy, but hey, dude, I still wanted to support because everybody in the industry needs to work and needs to get their money back, and regardless if it's Arquette, if it's a production company or whoever, I will always try to support as much as I can, especially people who are local and stuff. So yeah, shout out to the production company and David Arquette who put this documentary together.
Nice.
And the second one, and it's one that me and Wesley were talking about on Friday, and it's Bill and Ted Face the Music.
That was actually my one and only rec, so it'll be a conjoined recommendation from me and Diego. A most excellent recommendation.
So if you guys haven't seen it, it is the continuation of Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure?
Bogus Journey.
Burner's Journey. There you go. But I didn't do what Wesley did, where he watched Bill and Ted's Most Excellent Adventure and their second part, and then watch Face the Music.
In a row.
So I kind of fucked up.
I think it's very, especially if you haven't seen the other two in a very long time. I recommend watching them all. So Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, where they go to hell, leading into Face the Music, because they bring in every single character, all kinds of puns and inside jokes that are brought up again nearly 30 years later. So it's way more nostalgic if you watch it all at once. If you have a day to crush them out, they're only about an hour and 30 minutes each, so it's very fast watches and cohesive. And the new one was so great with their daughters and Samara Weaving, and they just they really killed it. I don't want to say too much because we don't want to have any spoilers or anything, but it's well worth the wait. Yeah. So funny, and a glimmer of hope in this shitty time. I'm glad that they didn't hold it back and they actually did release it when it was supposed to. But it's a shame because we were going to do a double feature this summer for Drop the Mic and doing the original two leading up to Face the Music, and of course that can't happen just yet. So
it sucks.
All right, R.I.P. to that idea.
Yeah.
But I think I'm not. If you are a Android or Google subscriber or have Android or platform, I know they are doing a deal where you can buy all three.
I did see movies on PlayStation
and also PlayStation, and I'm not sure if Apple's doing that. But yeah, for $50 you get all three, I believe, or 40.
I think it was 40, yeah, 35, 40, yeah, $35, $40. So it's like you pay $25 for the Face the Music plus $10 for the other two installments, which is not a bad deal.
Which is super cool.
If you don't have them already.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not a collector of
Physical media.
Physical media.
But hey, James, you need to get on this and watch this, dude.
I know. I have to rewatch the. Are the other ones streaming anywhere?
Excellent Adventure is on Stars. Bogus Journey, unfortunately, is not streaming anywhere. But I can't imagine. I can't imagine that it's hot. It's must be a couple of dollars to rent. If you rent it.
Oh yeah, I would definitely get on that
for sure.
I need to see the new one.
It's great.
It's so hilarious,
especially you being.
How's beardless Keanu?
I wasn't sure how I was gonna enjoy it with him having shaved. Although I do understand why he did it, to move away from the John Wick aesthetic.
Yeah,
and I think it really does work. And he's really funny. They have their chemistry is just the same. Him and Alex Winter, the way that they jump through going back in the past and the future, and meeting themselves, it's hilarious, dude. And they do a lot of cool. They do a lot of stuff.
It's yeah, and it's funny because their daughters in this one kind of act like them.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Obviously, but please go check out. Support Bill and Ted's
Face the Music.
Face the Music.
Is that it?
That's it, bro.
We're ready for your main focus?
Let's do this.
Uh-oh. 3 hours, people.
All right.
Hours of main focus.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now for the movie focus of the week.
We now interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you a few special words from our very own local projectionist, Mr. Chris Pollock.
Magnolia is a sprawling, emotional, long, messy, and divisive piece of cinema that has just as many critics as it does fans. It also happens to be director Paul Thomas Anderson's underrated masterpiece. Beginning with the late Ricky Jay's opening narration, recounting 3 unbelievable tales of coincidence and chance in the film's fascinating prologue, and climaxing with a biblical rain of frogs, Anderson expertly weaves a rich tapestry of 9 interconnected storylines in Los Angeles' San Fernando Valley over a 24-hour period. Backed by both Amy Mann's melancholy vocals and John Bryan's exceptional score, these 9 lost souls grapple with their past sins, trauma, regret, loneliness, and sadness, and over the course of the 3-hour-plus runtime, each are tested and eventually brought to their respective breaking points before the film reaches its mostly hope-filled coda. Boasting excellent performances by Anderson regulars John C. Reilly, Philip Baker Hall, Julianne Moore, William H. Macy, and the dearly departed Philip Seymour Hoffman, and quite possibly a career best performance by Tom Cruise, Magnolia is a monumental achievement in both writing and directing, and also a stunning homage to the films of Anderson's cinematic heroes Robert Altman and Jonathan Demme. While his second feature, the porn epic Boogie Nights, was the film that announced him critically and commercially as a major filmmaking talent, and his fifth, There Will Be Blood, is widely regarded as his magnum opus, it is in the opinion of this humble narrator that Magnolia, Anderson's third film, is his most personal, the one that most challenges its viewers, and the one that connects the most on an emotional level. Thank you.
Alright, so this week we're talking about Magnolia. It's rated R. It runs at 3 hours and 9 minutes. It's got an 83 on Rotten. It's written and directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, starring Tom Cruise, Jeremy Blackman, Melinda Dillon, Ricky Jay, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Julianne Moore, William H. Macy, and John C. Reilly, to name a few. Magnolia spins a beautiful web of interconnected character-driven stories, all taking place in the San Fernando Valley. Magnolia's inception started whilst in the editing bay for director P.T. Anderson's Boogie Nights film, which was both a critical and financial success for New Line Cinema at the time. The studio then decided to give the director final cut approval for his next project, Magnolia, before even hearing a pitch for it. With the director being just 28 years old during production, brave and complex performances being delivered by each cast member, including a mesmerizing performance by one Tom Cruise, this is a film about individual struggles, including loneliness, addiction, and the lasting effects of trauma from childhood, and how certain things in this life might just be caused by more than just random coincidence. Although the film didn't necessarily win over the box office, it was nominated for several Oscars and Golden Globes, where Cruise would snag an award for Best Performance. Overall, Magnolia has aged quite nicely. With its intentional pacing, it very well might not be everyone's cup of tea. However, it manages to reign supreme over films that have had similar themes such as 2004's Crash or even Darren Aronofsky's Requiem for a Dream. If you have yet to see this 90s classic, stream it now via HBO Max. Thank you.
Nice.
Very nice.
So Diego, obviously, I wanted to ask you, what made you pick this this crazy piece of work? What do you how is it like, what are your intentions with this piece? What does it remind you of? Why do you have a connection? You obviously have a strong connection to it. So let's dig a little deeper into your personal connection with this film to start off.
So this film, I think I said it on the episode, last episode. It was I watched it with my mom. It was kind of weird because I didn't really understand what was going on at that point. I think it was like 11, 12 years old.
Yeah.
So I must have not understood what was going on in the movie. And I thought, at the time, I thought it was trash. Be super blunt. But, you know, watching it maybe like when I was like a teenager again. And it kind of felt like it was like speaking to me and speaking to what I was going through at the time and what a lot of my friends were going through at the time. And even now as an adult, like you get I get a connection of like what sometimes goes wrong in life is not necessarily the end of it. Mm-hmm. And so with that being said, I mean, and then kind of getting deep into actually why Paul Anderson actually wrote the movie. Mm-hmm. Is kind of surreal, and it goes along to what my art form is at this point, where it does relate a lot to music and stuff. And for a lot of people that don't know, and I'm not so sure if I'm ruining this one fact, but but Paul Anderson actually wrote this movie off a lyric. I don't know if Wesley has the lyric.
I don't know the specific lyric, but it's Amy Mann, right?
Yeah, Amy Mann.
Basically, he was really into her work as a musician, and he took basically multiple songs and used them as the kind of pushing off point with what he was writing.
Yeah.
Right? Which is why I named the episode Driving Sideways, which is an Amy Mann song from the soundtrack.
Crazy.
And
yeah, I think you also said that you're into drama, Diego. On the episode.
Yeah, I really love. I think, and this is what me and Wesley were talking about on the way over to the studio, and that I am categorized as that guy that wanted to do a review of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, or Eco Man. But I also love movies that are really layered and really complex, and because I love to analyze what the writer and the director were actually kind of thinking about at that point. They were writing and making this movie, and it feels like Magnolia has like layers upon layers of stuff that to this day if you watched it maybe when you were like my age and you picked up certain stuff, and then when you're a teenager you picked up certain stuff, and now as an adult you pick up certain stuff even more. And I know if I watch it later on, maybe when I'm older, I'm gonna be saying like, oh, I picked up something new from this movie. So it's kind of like Memento, and like you get a new sense of feeling every time you watch it. So it's just one of those movies that was well made, and